Good morning, students. We have done all the four types of present tense. Present indefinite, present continuous has been done, present perfect as well as present perfect continuous. Now it is time to start with our next tense, simple past tense or past indefinite tense. This is after present indefinite tense. This tense is also quite important for competitive level, although we have to know use of every tense, but these tenses are generally asked in competitive exams, especially in NDA exam. First of all, beta, in simple past tense, this is the only tense in which second form of verb is used. The only tense in which second form of verb is used. And as far as negative sentences are concerned, only did is used. But with did, first form of verb is used. In affirmative sentences only, second form of verb is used without any helping verb. Means the structure of affirmative sentences is subject plus V2 plus object. But in negative, it is subject plus did not plus V1 plus object with all the pronouns I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. And in interrogative sentences, did plus subject plus V1 plus object is the formation. I suppose the formation of this tense is clear to all of you. Affirmative sentences, the formation is presented in front of you, subject, thereafter second form of verb plus object is used. In negative sentences, subject plus did plus not plus first form of verb plus object. Usually students think that it is past tense. So with did, second or at least second or third form of verb is used, which is generally a mistake committed by students. But students, you have to keep this in mind that with did, only first form of verb is used. In interrogative, did plus subject plus V1 plus object plus question mark. Now it is time to discuss the uses of simple past tense or past indefinite tense. First use of past indefinite tense is to express an action which took place at specific time in past. Like we can say, I saw him um, last night. The building was built in 2000. He went to Chennai yesterday. Likewise. First use, I suppose, is clear to all of you, to express an action which took place at specific time. Thereafter, second use of past indefinite is to express past habitual action. Habitual action. I have written it wrong, habitual habit. Habitual action, or we can say it's correct, habitual habit. The habitual action means in case I want to express my habit, my past habit, I make use of past indefinite tense. Suppose in my childhood I played cricket. Mohan always carried a bag of crockery with him or something like that. But beta, to express past habitual action, not only past and indefinite tense, you have always been using used to, है ना? Used to is used to express past habitual action, as well as would is also used to express past habitual action. I would like to cite examples of three of the past habitual actions making use of used to, would, and past indefinite. He went on Sundays. She always invited me to dinner. This is past habitual action of someone. Thereafter, if we say Gandhiji used to spend in the afternoon, she would wait for her lover in the park. All these are the examples of past habitual action. You have to keep this in mind for past habitual action. Not only used to, not only would, but also past indefinite tense is used to express past habit. Thereafter comes the third use of past indefinite with expressions like, it's quite important to remember, students, with the expressions like it is time, it is high time, it is about time. I have seen these type of sentences being asked in NDA. Usually the students commit mistake in it. It is high time, it is about time, it is time. With these type of expressions we make use of simple past tense. I would like to cite an example. It is time he started playing cricket. It is high time she left for bus stop. It is about time to start your studies. Students, remember, you have to keep this in mind. Don't be confused with it is time. Is. Don't get confused with the use of is. With this complete expression, past indefinite tense is used. Now comes the second use. I would like to mention with the expressions like uh, or with the adverbs of time like today, this morning, this evening, this week, this month, this year, this week, recently. Both past indefinite or past present perfect tense can be used. With these expressions like today, this morning, which are presented on your screen, both past indefinite as well as present perfect tense can be used to express action which continue. Next is to express an two action, one of which was continuing when the other took place. First of all, first use I would like to tell means after uh, some action which took place at some time in past, after expressing or making use of past indefinite to express past habitual action, it is time, it is high time. I would like to say, if we want to express two actions which took place at same time in past, in both the actions we make use of past or simple past tense. Example is, while she cooked, I wrote a book. While they played, we studied. To express, it is given on the screen for an action which was continuing, we use past continuous, and with the action which took place, next use is to express two actions. Before this I stated to express two actions which took place at same time in past. We make use of while, and in both the actions we make use of past indefinite. But to express two actions out of which one was continuing when the other took place, the action which was going on is described in past continuous, and the action which took place after that is written or described in past indefinite. I would like to cite an example. She was cooking food when her husband came. One action was going on when the other took place. While he was watering the plants, an insect bit him. What was going on is expressed in past continuous, and the action which took place after that is described in past indefinite. While the girls were dancing, their father came to see them. I suppose this point is also clear to all my lovely students. Thereafter comes the next use of past indefinite in suppositional sentences. In suppositional sentences, which usually start with, or we can say in imaginary sentences, the to describe something which is not real, which you wish, with the beginning of if, as if, as though, if only, I wish, we wish, he wishes, simple past tense is used. Likewise, you must have stated or you must have heard this sentence: I wish I were his friend, I wish I were the PM of the country, if I became the Prime Minister of India, I would solve the problem of Kashmir. I would like to drag your attention to this use of past indefinite tense, students. In this type of sentences, with I wish, starting with I wish, with every pronoun were is used, not was. With every pronoun. Here I, with I we make use of was, not were, but were is used. This is imaginary sentence, and in imaginary sentences or suppositional sentences we make use of were with every pronoun, whether it is he, she, it, you, we, they. I suppose this use is also clear to all of you. Next, there are certain time expressing words or adverbs of time with which past indefinite tense is used. Students, we need to learn the words. We need to keep the words in our mind, with which past indefinite tense is used. The words are yesterday. It may be yesterday noon, yesterday morning, yesterday evening, afternoon, whatever. The day before yesterday, with this expression also, we make use of past indefinite tense. The other day, ago, last morning, last day, last month, last week, um, in January 2020, in May 2019. With these expressions also we make use of past indefinite tense. This use is also clear. Thereafter, to express past time related situation. Past time related situation, likewise we can say it was night at that time, I was helpless, है ना. With or to express such situation we make use of past indefinite tense. In past, next use is in past. It's quite an important use which you must have heard since your childhood. In past, if two work take place, one of which had already taken place when the other took place, the action which had already taken place is called previous action, and it is described in or written in past perfect tense. But the action which took place later is called subsequent action, and it is expressed in past simple past tense. I would like to cite very simple example which you must have been listening. The patient had died before the doctor came, है ना. You must have heard this example. The patient had died before the doctor came. the patient had died, this action, the action of the death of patient, had already taken place. So it is described in past perfect tense. And the action which took place later this is before the doctor came, and it is subsequent action and is described or written in past perfect tense. Sorry, not past perfect, simple past. Thereafter, we can take another example. The train had departed when he reached the station. One action had already taken place, and the action is the departure of the train when he reached the station, and it is subsequent action which took place after the departure. After the departure of the train, what had already taken place? The departure of the train, and it is written in past indefinite. And the action which took place later, he reached the station, it is written in simple past tense. Sushant Singh had already hanged himself before his friends could find. So, this is an example of both previous action and subsequent action. Thereafter comes very important use of past indefinite, and it is second conditional in conditional sentences, and this is second condition in which subordinate clause. In subordinate clause, if we in subordinate clause, past indefinite tense is used, and in principal clause, might, could, would, should plus V1 is used. In subordinate clause, past indefinite tense is used, and in principal clause, might, would, should, could plus V1 is used. If my servants came on time, I would pay him his wages. If he worked hard, he would pass the exam. If he works hard, he will pass the exam. This is the example of first condition. In in subordinate clause, present indefinite tense is used, but in principal clause, will, shall, can plus V1 is used. But if he worked hard, he would pass. In this subordinate clause, past indefinite tense is used, and in the principal clause, would, should, could plus V1 is used. And the last use of past indefinite tense, while converting direct into indirect speech. Students, as you all know, the conversion of direct into indirect speech, when the reported verb is in present or future, then the reported speech tense is not changed, it remains the same. But if the reported verb remains in past tense and reported speech in simple present tense, reported speech tense is changed only if reported verb is in past tense. This you have to keep in mind. Thereafter, other changes takes place. In reported speech, if the reported verb is in past tense and reported speech in simple present tense, then simple present tense is converted into simple past tense or past indefinite. As you can see the example, he said, I want to read a novel. He said is converted into said will remain said. He said that. I is converted into he. He said that he wanted to read a novel. I want to read a novel is converted into he wanted to read a novel. As far as the uses and formation of past simple past tense is concerned, we have discussed it. I suppose this tense is clear to all my lovely students. Thank you, beta.